How you guys doing today? It's Dale from MD Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing the FIFINE Tank 3. Hey, before we begin, please just like and subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel out a lot. I take my time in making these product reviews for you all and getting them to you. So please just help me and my channel out by liking and subscribing to my channel. Without further ado, let's get to the product review. Right here we have the Tank 3. See for yourself. Back up a little bit. And right here at the bottom, you can see it has a microphone monitoring, a headphone monitoring jack and a XLR microphone jack and USB Type-C. You can also use it as a microphone jack as well to get sound if you don't have a audio interface. And this light right here, as you'll see shortly, it stays green when the microphone is live, and if I hit the button while it's on, it'll turn red, and the sound for the microphone will be muted. Right here you have your knobs to control the microphone gain and the headphone gain. Now I will note that these functions become non-functionable if you choose to use the XLR, which you'll see shortly. And I'm going to show you, show you, but also you'll hear what the microphone sounds like. I'm going to use it with just the XLR. I'm going to use it with a mic gain preamp for dynamic microphones. And I'm also going to use it just a Type-C so you can hear what it sounds like for yourself. Now let's hear what it sounds like for yourself real quick. As you see now, I have the Tank 3 hooked back up via Type-C to my computer. I feel like most people who get this microphone, they will probably get it to use it Type-C. I feel like the days of having to have an audio interface are probably coming to an end. Just for those who are just into like YouTube content, if you're someone like a musician or you record, of course you're gonna need an audio interface. But for a lot of people out there, like my wife, she used to do like Instagram videos, but she would use a microphone. But for somebody like her, she wouldn't need a whole home studio setup just because she just wanted to have good audio. So she would just need she used a USB microphone. I remember when I first got into audio, you had to have audio interfaces to use microphones, whether it was condenser or dynamic. As you saw before, I took this off the Tank 3. It didn't come with it. I like using a pop filter. I'll put it back on real quick. I know. I watched a few different YouTube reviews before I purchased a microphone, and as well, some of them mentioned that it didn't need it as well. I'm sure it's just the design of the actual microphone. But me, I like using them. I'm just used to using them. I like using them. It can't hurt anything. But I hope you're just listening to just what it sounds like. Before I had the FIFINE K66B when when the video first came on. I was telling you about when I was just showing you the Tank 3. But just kind of, if you want to kind of go back, rewind and fast forward to kind of get a good idea of how they sound. I'll say for the most part, I was looking at the specs of different microphones. This one is about -50 dB. The SMB7 was about 56 -dB. And even the one I had before, the Zoom microphone that I've reviewed before on this channel, it was about 52 dBs as well, negative dBs. Just so you guys who are out there are aware, dynamic microphones do have a minus dB when talking about the sound, and that's really because they're less sensitive than condenser microphones, meaning that they don't pick up as much noise as a condenser microphone would. You tend to have to be right up on condenser microphones as a condenser mic. I could probably put it on my table right here, which is probably about an arm length away, and still talk. You could probably still hear me just as clear. Give or take, yes, I would probably add a few dB to the audio in post-production, but it's nothing that you would probably that would be noticeable to you, the viewer. Now I'm gonna actually switch now and use it in XLR mode, and then I'm gonna put I'll show you real quick. after I put it in XLR mode, I will use a dynamic microphone amp, just right here. And basically, you can either put it on the XLR at the mic or on the XLR at the actual audio interface. It's just really up to you. Right now, I am using the XLR on the Tank 3. I haven't yet put on the preamp. When I will, you'll probably see a big difference in the volume. Usually I'll put a limiter or a compressor on the audio in my videos to kind of up the gain a little bit, but for this part, I actually won't. I may do it for the rest of the video, but for the XLR comparison and the XLR comparison with the preamp, I won't put a limiter on it, just so you can kind of get a good idea of what it sounds like, and actually understand what a dynamic preamp, the difference that it makes. I did a review a while back on this preamp. I have two of them, the Tune, and I did one on the Gemello. There are many different ones on the market. Some cost $80 to $100. I think I paid about $13 a piece from for both of these. They came from China. It took about 3 weeks. Hey, I love it. I did a review on them. I don't necessarily see the purpose in spending $80 to $100 for something if I can get the same quality for something that's cheap. Now, oftentimes I realize that with products, what you're actually paying for is the name, which is, again, I know some people, they like specific brands. I myself, I guess you can put me in that category. I own 3 FIFINE microphones, the Tank 3, the FIFINE K66, and the I think this is the, not sure which one this one is, but I forget the name. I'll put it I'll put it right here, type it right here, so you'll know if you want to go out there and get it for yourself. So I own, let me see, right here. This one is FIFINE. This one is FIFINE. This right here, this is a condenser microphone. This right here is a dynamic microphone. And the one that I'm using right here, that you hear me on, it's also a dynamic microphone as well. So I got 2 dynamic microphones from FIFINE and 1 condenser microphone. Now the condenser microphone right here, it does light up when you use it, RGB lights. But I've said before on the video where I reviewed it, is that I use that for conference calls, Zoom meetings and things like that. When it comes to Zoom meetings, I actually prefer a condenser microphone because I don't want it right in my face, and I want people to be able to hear me. When I'm doing YouTube videos or reviews or a podcast, I prefer dynamic microphones. You know, those who have watched my videos, you all know that I prefer dynamic microphones in most applications, most recording applications. YouTube content is a recording application, is also a recording and video application, but for recording purposes, far as like in a studio, I prefer a condenser microphone. But I haven't done studio applications in a while. Really, right now I'm just rambling on because I want you to kind of just see how it sounds and get a good idea if it's something that you would be able to use. Towards the end of the video, I'm actually going to tell you who this microphone is for and probably who's not for. So there, I just added on the dynamic mic preamp, the Tune, and for these, they do require phantom power. So for those who are not sure what that is, phantom power is the button you would have on your audio interface that you would have to use if you're using a condenser mic. But because the dynamic mic preamps kind of need a jolt of power, you'd have to push the 48 volt button, which is normally used to again power condenser microphones. Typically, if you're just using a dynamic microphone without the dynamic mic preamp, you don't have to use phantom power, or you shouldn't use phantom power. But if you plug in a dynamic mic preamp, like the one I just showed you, then you would have to use phantom power. So again, you probably can tell in the volume. I can see even on OBS the audio is spiking. So I can probably tell just from just from that, you can probably tell a big difference in the audio and the volume of the audio. Let me actually turn down a little bit. But like I was saying before, I just want you to listen and hear how it sounds. The Tank 3, it's a phenomenal microphone. It is very, 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 very heavy. I actually had to tighten my boom arm a few times because it kept like sagging back down. And you know that's one of the issues, like I said before in previous videos, that I had with the Blue Yeti. It's just an extremely big, heavy microphone. I didn't have any problems with the sound quality. I think the sound quality was good. I love how it sounded, but it was just too big for my boom arm. And so whenever I did use it, I'd have to hold it. So I was like, you know what, this isn't something that I really want to have. So, you know, me and my wife, again, I've mentioned on past videos with those who follow me, we also do e-commerce. So I'll oftentimes I'll buy items, whether it's a microphone or audio interface or whatever. I'll buy items, I'll use them. If I like them, I'll keep them. If I don't like them, I'll just resell them on the market, because I usually find somewhere to buy them cheap anyway, so I don't spend you know, a lot of money for them anyways. So if I like them, I'll use them. If I don't like them, I'll just sell them on the market for more than what I paid for it. And for me, it's a win-win situation, meaning that I got the item that I wanted, even if it was just to try it, and then I got an opportunity to sell the item for more than what I paid for it, which is a win because I sold it more than what I paid for. So that's just, you know, my whole thing with microphones. Again, is this a microphone that I would use to podcast? I would use it to podcast. I would use it to do YouTube videos as I am right now. You probably saw some of my past videos where you saw me using this microphone. You probably just didn't know I was using it, but I was using this microphone, the Tank 3. And I before I review things, I like to actually use them a few times. I probably had this microphone since November of last year, 2024. This is 2025, so I've had it for quite some time. Enough time to use it a few times to know whether or not if I want to keep it or not. And the fact that I still have it is testimony that I like it, and I do want to keep it. So that's just, you know, one of the things I just wanted to kind of make you guys aware of. I didn't just get this microphone last week or the other day. I've had it for some time. I've had it since November of 24. I've had enough time to use it. It's actually one of my top microphones that I actually use now whenever I'm doing content or podcasting. I prefer this microphone because I love how it sounds. It sounds wonderful. It sounds good. One of the things that I mentioned before, it was, who is this microphone for? This microphone is for anybody who does not have an audio interface, who doesn't want an audio interface. You're like, well, listen, I don't do anything outside of a podcast or outside of a YouTube video that would require me to have an audio interface. I don't want the extra cost. This is a perfect microphone for you. It's also perfect for someone who's into podcasting. It's a perfect microphone for you. If you're also into video content, YouTube reviews, or just anything, any kind of video content where you probably would be sitting at a computer or at a desk. I know some people who actually they do lesson plans, and they on pre-recorded videos for school or college because they're professors or they're just teachers or they're instructors, or they have specific videos, lessons that they sell. This is a perfect microphone for you if you're into that kind of in that world. You know, it's great for you in that arena. If you want to, I guess, be a live performer, I don't really know about that one, but I would say I would put my neck on the line and say it probably is a microphone that you can use for that as well. You know, many people use dynamic microphones when live performing, and it's just, again, it's a good microphone. I don't find any flaw with it. Oftentimes, before people start up a podcast or start buying equipment for YouTube content, people always that know me will always call me, hey, I saw this microphone. They'll ask me, well, what should I buy? What should I get? And one of the things that I always tell people is one of the things that I mentioned before early in the video when it comes to the dynamic mic preamps, which is that what you're really paying for is the name. Now, can you get the same sound quality from a FIFINE Tank 8? I'm sorry, a FIFINE Tank 3 that you can from an SMB? Yes or no? No, I don't think you can out of the box, meaning that if I plug up the SMB and you plug in the FIFINE Tank 3, I don't think you will have the same sound quality. The question then would be, would the sound be noticeable to the audience? I think yes and no. If your ear is trained for audio, I think it will be. Most people's ears are not trained for audio, so for the majority of people, they won't be able to hear the difference. When I listen to people do videos on different microphones, like the SMB or whatever other microphone it is, yes, I can hear the difference. When I say yes and no, the no is what I just said. The yes is, well, most people who do podcasts or YouTube videos, they're also going to do pre-production, meaning they're going to add some type of, they're going to edit whether it's coloring or they're going to edit the audio in some form or fashion. Can you get it? Can you get it there? Yes, that's where you can get it. That's why I always tell my friends and families who come to me about questions about microphones and cameras and this and that. I'm like, listen, this is the microphone that I use. If you want to buy the SMB, definitely go out and buy it. If you want to not spend that kind of money and get more gear, which is what I always tell people to do, because the average person isn't really going to know. Most of that stuff is just marketing. Does the SMB sound good? Yes. Does the FIFINE Tank 3 sound good? Yes. But I can get the same quality of sound in post-production. Most people doing a podcast, they have podcast editors or they edit the podcast themselves. I edit my podcast myself because I have a background in audio engineering. So I edit my podcast myself. So when it comes to that, go out and buy you a microphone roughly between $50 to $100. And I promise you, nobody will be calling you or leaving comments on your YouTube videos or your podcast. This audio sounds terrible. Nobody will do that because the audio is just fine. And I just like to make the distinction with that, because sometimes people get carried away with certain brands and this and that. It's like, listen, man, at the end of the day, like, now, have I come across microphones that sound terrible? Yes. I recently reviewed the FIFINE, was it AM8, and I didn't like how it sounded. I did a review on my channel. I'll leave that up above as well. I didn't like how it sounded. To me, the mids and the lows sounded a bit muddy. It made my audio sound a bit muddy and not muffled, but a bit. It sounded muffled to me, but I don't think it was like a muffled sound. But it sounded muddy, and I didn't like that sound at all. And it wasn't anything that I did. Even when I tried to edit the audio in post production, I just didn't like how the audio sounded. So I ended up selling the microphone. But for most microphones that I've come across, I haven't had that problem. Maybe I had a defected microphone is what I would like to say that I had. I don't know if it was defected or not. I sold it. I don't believe it was defected. I believe it was just that I didn't like how it sound. So for those, again, MD review. I do have a couple more reviews coming up for you all. I have another microphone that I just purchased. I previously purchased a DJ turntable for my wife. So I'm going to be reviewing that as well. I'm also going to be reviewing a product that I bought last year but returned it. And after I watched a few more videos, I said, you know what, that's a product I really would be useful to me in my arsenal. So I got some more videos coming for you all. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please like the video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you like the video. Let me know, do you have this microphone? Do you plan on getting it? Is it a microphone that you would be interested in getting? Any kind of like or comments or thumbs up helps me out a lot. I'm a small YouTube channel, as you guys could probably see. I do my best in giving you guys great content, whether it's video and audio. Make sure the audio is right, the video's not too dark or not too cloudy. So I like to think I put out some pretty good product, you know what I'm saying? So please just, if you just get a moment, opportunity, please just like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Until next time, again, Dale from Indie Reviews. Thank you for listening and watching my video. Until next time, peace.